Hi, my loves. Welcome back to the Starscartel channel. If you don't know, I'm Star. The message I heard is kick me out. The scripture comes from Judah 6 and 8. You will not perish until you are destroyed with them. And then Judah 14 and 1. Judah said to them, hear me now, my countrymen, and take this head and hang it on the battlement of your wall. So here's the message. God said for somebody, okay, because this is someone, like, what this sound like is somebody you attaching yourself to somebody that is under the wrath of God. Either that or somebody is attaching themselves to you. But I just feel like that's what it, like, this is somebody that is somebody under the wrath of God. And I say that because it says you will not perish until you are destroyed with them. God said it'll be a situation where, because you insist on being attached to this person, you gonna go down the way that they, like, you, if you gonna end up like them if you carry on the way you carrying on. God said you need to be careful now. It's somebody, like, this is a situation where, like, if you like hanging out with somebody that they like to cheat on their spouse or something like that, if you keep hanging out with them, you gonna be next. If you are hanging out with somebody that likes to live their life in a very wild and chaotic manner, you gonna end up living your life like that. If you like whatever, I just feel like that's what God is saying. Whoever you surround yourself with, that's who you're going to be like. And it's not to say that you got to isolate yourself and you can't have friends. And it's also not to say that your friends can't be similar or, you know what I'm saying, somewhat like you in a sense. But it is to say that you have to be careful of how your friends influence you and what they influence you to do, because there are some things that, okay, you know what I'm saying, there are some things that are not so bad, you know what I'm saying, hanging out with somebody that's not so, going out to eat, or, you know what I'm saying, I just feel like, but you don't want it to be a situation where somebody is influencing you to do things that God don't want you to do. I just always be mindful of that. God said he always wants you to be mindful of what you are doing. Is this something that God will want me to do? Is this something God is okay with? If it is something he is okay with, then he gonna give you, you know, he's gonna bless you with it. But if it's something that he's not okay with, then he ain't gonna be okay with it. And I feel like for whoever this is for, that's what God wants you to understand. And sometimes it could be a situation where God don't want you to be to such an extent to where you are I just feel like God don't, like, for whoever this is for, God said he don't want you to end up partaking in things that you don't need to partake in. And because of that, he wants you to be careful of who you call a friend, who you hang out with, and all that kind of stuff. And that's the message, baby. That's the message, and that's the message, Simone. And yeah, that's the message. You don't want it to be a situation where you hanging out with somebody that literally will get you put out, or literally will cause something bad to happen to you. And it could be a situation where somebody ended up getting, like, going through that, like maybe somebody got put out of like a house or an apartment, and the reason that you got put out is because somebody else, they did something, like they lied to somebody, they lied on you, or they made it seem as if you did something you didn't do. They made it look a certain way. But God said, like, in reality, sometimes you just have to watch who you hang out with, because everybody don't have the best intentions for you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't really trying to look out for you. Everybody ain't really trying, you know what I'm saying? You can tell the difference between somebody that's really trying to help you and somebody that ain't. Because when somebody really is trying to help you, you're going to tell them what's wrong, and they going to actually put forth effort to solve it. But somebody that ain't, they just this. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to do nothing until they see somebody else doing it. And now they scratching their head. Ooh, well, I could do this and I could do that. You should have did it then. You been had your chance to do all that, boo. You could have been did that. Where you been? You late. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like some people, they just want to look like they got a big cape on just because somebody else, they've been sitting there watching the struggle, watching whatever it is you had going on the whole time, yo. And now all of a sudden they got all these, they can solve this and they can solve that and they can solve this. God said this somebody, I bet they could solve world hunger if they actually put their mind to it. But they don't want to do nothing until they see somebody else doing it. And they just want to do it now to spite the other person. God said, baby, he see that. He see that. He see that. He see that, 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 he see that. And you know what I'm saying? In reality, I just feel like when it come down to God's judgment, everybody is all fun and games until God got his foot on your neck. It's all fun and games until God got his foot on your neck. It's all fun and games. It's all kikis and ha-has until God got his foot on your neck and you looking stupid. Because this situation right here, somebody getting somebody kicked out, and it like just because they are all of a sudden popping up with all these, they gonna do this and they gonna do that and they got this idea, that idea. But where you been? Where you been? Why now? You know what I'm saying? But you know, like, baby, and you know, in reality, them kind of people, I know how to fix that. Because, like, you know, if it's a situation where I'm doing something out of the kindness of my heart, you know what I'm saying? And somebody is sitting up here trying to battle with me, you going back and forth with me, look here, we not finna go back and forth. You got it. You win. Sure do. You got it, you win. I can find something else to do with my time. There are other things that I could do in an attempt to not only spread the good news of Christ, but also to just put forth his works and actually, you know what I'm saying, do what he wants me to do. But it shouldn't be like, God said he not finna put you in no hostile work environment where you trying to do what God leading you to do, and here comes somebody else trying to mess that up. And you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody got time for that. We not doing that. God said we ain't playing tic-tac-toe. We not playing tic-tac-toe. Ain't no tic-tac-toe. Like, baby, but that's the message. And you know, when I heard it, it was like, kick me out. It wasn't in no, like, shocked or appalled. It was kind of like appalled and big. You gonna have to eat that. And that's the message, baby. That's wild. But yeah, this somebody that got somebody got put out, or you, like, regardless if you got put out, or maybe you went through a breakup, or maybe you went through some kind of split, and it's because somebody else saw what you were doing and they wanted to come in and mimic you. God said whoever this person is, they could have been did that. They could have been came up with all these suggestions. They could have been did all these, like, they did not. It's almost as if the only reason they are doing this is to affect you now. But God said, in reality, it's not a situation where y'all finna play tug of war. It's not a situation where y'all finna fight. Either it's God, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like that's the vibe. God said, it's not, you not finna go back and forth with them. Well, I cooked this, look, I brought a pie, and my pie is better. Well, look, I brought, you know what I'm saying? I did this. I brought chicken wings this time. My chicken wings are better. Ain't nobody, like, I feel like this is a situation where it's tit for tat. God said it ain't a competition now. It ain't a competition now. Whatever this is. Regardless if you are literally doing good in the community, and baby, don't let it be a relationship one, because I keep trying to ignore that little nudge. But baby, if it's a relationship, once you want a relationship with somebody, baby, ain't no what, like, competing with who? For what? You won already. And I feel like this is somebody, like, you are trying to do whatever it is that you are doing, you're doing good. You are doing what God led you to do. You are doing what God asked you to do now. Regardless if there are people that made prayers to God for you to do exactly what you are doing. And there is somebody else that is sitting back envious, jealous, and hateful because and they resent the fact that you are doing what God led you to. And now they want to come in saying they can do all these other things for whoever it is that you help, or whatever it is that God sent you to do. Now they got all these big plans. God said this whole time that you weren't doing this. They could have done all of these things and they chose not to. But the only reason they standing there and now they want to do all these things is because you are there. God said you are not going to play tug of war with them. You not going back and forth with them. You not sharing with them. It's not a situation where I'm thinking about how in the Percy Jackson movie, the second one, how they gave it was like it's supposed to be his mission and they gave it to Clarice. God said, you know what I'm saying, if it's that kind of vibe, it's not going to be a situation where you're going to be like, you know what, it's my message. I just got to go because it was about, the prophecy was about me. It's my mission. God said he will give you a whole new prophecy, boo. A whole new mission. He will. Why in the world? What are you tussling with this person for? Let him have it. And that's the message. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Deuces.